Hey, there's Bill Score, Florida Bass Paddler, and welcome to the Man Cave. Look what I got. The good folks over at Rugged Road Coolers sent me one of their coolers to do a video review on. Let's check it out. Alright, so here she is out of the box, and the very first thing I noticed was the texture of this cooler. It felt different. I went back to their website, and apparently these coolers are covered with something called rigorite. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't even know what it is. But that allows these coolers to have like a non-slip surface. If you look at some of your traditional higher end coolers out there, and I'm not knocking them by any means, they have a very smooth surface. So if you have your cooler on an uneven terrain, you put something on top, there's a good chance it could slide off. So this has a non-slip coating to it. It feels pretty neat. Second thing I noticed was these heavy duty handles. However, we have the heavy duty, what looks to be like a really thick nylon rope handle here. You can also hold it from the side as well. So almost like a dual action handle, which is pretty sharp. The one side at the top here looks like a measuring board, if you will, for if you're out catching fish and want to make sure they're a legal size. So at no numbers, I'm not sure how long this is, but it's kind of a little neat thing to do with some space. So let's go ahead and open her up. We have a nice heavy duty latch. See what's inside. Oh wow, we got goodies. I'm gonna cut some zip ties first. I don't know if you'll get all this stuff with your other coolers. You're probably wondering why these are on the inside. I'll go over that in a second. Got a snack tray there. A water bottle. That's pretty sharp. And a sliding divider. Pretty neat. So we have these things here that keep it from coming out. You can slide the divider there. That's pretty sharp. Very impressive. Let's see. That rest on top. That's pretty sharp. I like that a lot. Now, another thing I noticed. You ever open a cooler and the inside, it looks like the walls might be like slightly slanted or really thick and you lose some of that capacity? I'm not really seeing that with this cooler. The inside looks exceptionally large. This has a 65 can capacity and they go by cans rather than liters. So we'll have to look at that in a minute and see if we can do the math. To find coolers comparative in size so we can look at weights and things of that nature. But I'm also feeling this nice thick rubber gasket up here, but that's a pretty wide open cooler there. You saw that, right? Now we have a completely different surface. That's not something I just figured out because I'm not that intelligent. I actually saw them demonstrate this for me at ICAST 2023 and I thought it was pretty sharp. So if you're out chilling with the family and you want to put some beverages in the cup holders, you have that. You have this, again, this little surface here for snacks or things of that nature. So it's a reversible lid. So that is really, really cool. So I definitely am impressed with it. I'm impressed with its weight so far. Initially, I'm impressed with its features, the accessories that came with it. I think that's great, but this cooler is supposed to have 5+ days of ice retention. I guess the only way to find that out is we're gonna put that to the test. So I'm gonna put some ice in here. We're gonna mark the date and time. We're gonna go about 6 days, maybe a week, and then we're gonna check the ice. And I'm even gonna put my favorite beverage in here and see if it's still able to be enjoyed after that time period. So we're gonna do that next. All right, so it's time for the ice test, and this is how it's gonna work. We have 6 7-pound bags of ice, 42 pounds for those of you keeping score. And I brought along a nice cold 4-pack of shallow end lager from my favorite brewery here in Tallahassee, Deep Brewing Company. I put 42 pounds of ice in here. We're gonna put the 4-pack of beer in here that's already been pre-chilled. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I prepped the cooler for this test. So let's get it filled and we'll go from there. Okay, so the cooler's filled to the top with ice, 4-pack of beer. I want to go over how I prepped the cooler for the ice test for full transparency, because again, I don't know how this is going to work out. The cooler's stored in my garage, but I brought it indoors overnight. Put a couple ice packs inside just to cool the internal temperature of the chamber. Brought it out this morning, didn't open it until just before I was about to put the ice in. 42 pounds of ice. Filled it and then some, so I took some off and I threw it outside just enough to get this lid closed and latched properly. So it is filled to capacity with ice. So again, we have about 41 pounds of ice maybe, and then a 4-pack of beer that was pre-chilled. The cooler is going to be kept in my garage for a duration of 7 days. Ambient temperatures in my garage, probably between 80 to 85 degrees. It'll be kept 2 inches off the ground and away from the metal garage door. It's going to be kept in the back cool of the garage, no lights. I'm not going to open it for first 3 days. We're going to open it in 3 days, see how the ice holds up. We're going to do it again in 5 days and then again in 7 days, because on the manufacturer's website they say they'll hold ice for 7 days. So I wanted to fill the cooler up to the top so there's no air pockets in there. Again, I pre-chilled the inside. I'm sure things like frozen gallons of water or ice blocks are probably best for these situations, but again, the majority of people are going to use these for camping or fishing or tailgating. So again, I want to fill up the capacity to see how it would do for the short and long terms. So we're going to come back in 3 days, see how the ice is holding up. I'll see you then. All right, so we're just a hair over day 3. Let's take a quick look at how much ice is left so far. So probably 2/3 of the ice is still left. Again, that's just over 3 days. Last filming was, I want to say early Sunday. It is late Tuesday. So far 2/3 of the ice still left. We'll come back 2 more days, that'll be 5 days, and see where we are from there. All right guys, here we go, day 5. We're gonna open up the cooler, see what kind of ice we have left. All right, so we still have some ice, good amount of ice. The water's really cold. Again, so day 5, mostly water. But we still have some ice left, some chunks of ice, so not bad. All right, guys, here we are, day 7. Let's take a look inside, see what we got. The water's still super cold. There is no ice. How about the beer? Is the beer cold? I'm gonna check that now. So day 7, again, ice didn't make it all the way, but the water's super cold. Let's try the contents and then we'll have some final thoughts on this cooler. So before I get to my final thoughts on this cooler, I wanted to go over an important topic. You know what this is? It's clean drinking water. Did you know that 1 out of every 10 people in the world don't have access to clean drinking water? One of the things that really caught my attention about Rugged Road Outdoors is the fact that Spencer Sutliff, the CEO and founder, has decided to donate 10% of their yearly earnings to the Rugged Road Foundation. Well, what does that mean? The Rugged Road Foundation helps provide clean drinking water to countries all around the globe, with the first happening in Nigeria. That's bringing clean drinking water to parts of the world where adults, children, communities don't have access to something that we have every day and take for granted. So knowing that when you're purchasing a product from Rugged Roads, 10% of the profits from that product is providing clean drinking water to someone in the world. I think that's really important to bring up, and I wanted to make sure I let you know, the viewer, that this is not just a company looking to make a great outdoor product and to profit from it. Some of those profits are going to help others around the world have something that we take for granted. Beer's still cold. Cheers. So I want to give you some of my thoughts on this cooler. I was very fortunate to receive one to do the YouTube video on. First and foremost, I really think Rugged Road's message is that this cooler is half the weight of the competition based on its competition within the same size, as well as price point, capacity, etc. They hit it out of the park with how lightweight this cooler is. In addition, they wanted to put different features into it that you won't find in the competition, such as a reversible lid. While you think these are just so when you can reverse the lid, you have an area for cup holders, you can also stand bottles of wine in here. And the top of the bottle will go through here to help them from falling over if you're someone who likes chilled wine. The dual carry handles on the side, I think that's a really smart idea. Me personally have been using the handle itself more than the rope handles. But again, who knows if you're going to be someone who has this cooler jam-packed with ice and beverages and you're going to the game, you're going camping, that's when the rope handles may help you get some leverage in lifting it up. The beverages stayed cold for 7 days in this cooler. I've seen reports from 5+ days to 7 days. We opened it up at 3 days, 5 days, we still had ice in there. 7 days there was no ice, but the water was super cold and the beer that was inside was cold. A lot of variables in ice tests now. Again, you have to understand that not all ice tests are going to be the be-all, end-all of how a cooler performs. This cooler was kept in a garage that was 80, 85 degrees every day. I did initially test this cooler before recording it with just ice in it 7 days, and it did not do well. But upon researching that, I didn't pre-chill the cooler, which is recommended by both Rugged Road as well as some of their competitors. You pre-cool your cooler. You bring it indoors. You put some ice packs inside or just one bag of ice to cool the inside, because you have to understand when you're putting ice or ice blocks or ice packs in these coolers, it's also having to keep the cooler cold as well as the contents. So keep that in mind. 2, I use ice purchased from a gas station. I've seen recommendations of ice blocks, recommendations of if you have the freezer space or maybe a chest freezer in the garage, fill some gallon jugs with water, freeze those will last longer. Dry ice is another recommendation for coolers. So do I think this cooler will last 7 days under the appropriate conditions with the right type of ice? I do. I do. There's nothing for me to believe that this cooler will not perform. And I'm being genuine. Again, no, there's no ice in there right now after 7 days. But again, had I used block ice or the frozen gallon jugs, Maybe it's even colder out inside. So that I don't know, but I feel that this cooler does its job. In case of hurricane preparedness or power outage preparedness, yeah, I would probably use ice blocks or frozen gallons to keep my food colder longer so I'm not wasting it. A lot of innovation has gone into this cooler. They really thought this out. I like it a lot. As far as cons, the only thing that concerned me about the cooler was I have a lot of moisture around the drain, or the spigot, if you will, where you would empty the cooler from the water. I don't know if it's just condensation. I don't know if I have it screwed down all the way. I'm not sure if it kind of came loose. I'll look into that, but that was the only con that I saw. Like, there's a lot of condensation and moisture around this spigot. Is that normal? And I'll reach out to them to ask that question, but I really think Rugged Road has done a nice job with their coolers. It's super lightweight. For the money, it really stacks up well against the competition, and we're gonna put this slide up real quick. This is from their website, and as you can see, it's comparing itself to 2 other popular brands, or sizes of coolers rather, and everyone knows these brands. They're a household name. And you can see how it stacks up as far as price point, as well as capacity, weight, etc. The cooler, you get a lot with it. You get the sliding divider, you get the basket tray for the top to keep some like sandwiches from getting wet from ice and things of that nature. So you're getting a good amount for your money. So I'm gonna put a link to their website below. Again, really check this cooler out. If you're someone who likes to hang out in a big pool, or you're going out camping a lot, this cooler will fit in my canoe. I tried that out. It floats top end up. It will not roll like some other coolers. There's plenty of videos out there, so I figured, why bother running out to the water and throwing it in the water when so many other people have done? You can check out their links. But if you're in the market for a nice high-end cooler, something that has a little bit more bells and whistles than your standard cooler, check out Rugged Road Outdoors. I hope you found this video informative. My name is Bill Sikora. I'm the Florida Bass Paddler. Thanks for watching, everyone. Tight lines. I'll see you on the water.